You give, they take. You understand, they exploit. You love deeply, but somehow it always ends with you feeling drained, confused, and questioning yourself. If you're an empath, you may have asked, why do I keep attracting the wrong people? This isn't just bad luck. The pairing of empaths and manipulators is a widely discussed psychological dynamic, often described as a perfect yet destructive match. The reason is simple. The core traits of one personality perfectly serve the needs of the other. The narcissist is a taker, desperate for validation and control. The empath is a giver, driven by compassion and the belief they can heal the wounded person behind the mask. At the heart of this attraction is what psychologists call narcissistic supply. A manipulator thrives on attention, admiration, and emotional energy. To them, an empath is like finding a bottomless well. Empaths are naturally generous, nurturing, and willing to prioritize the needs of others over their own. For the narcissist, this feels like endless fuel that costs them nothing in return. But it goes further than generosity. Empaths often struggle to set firm boundaries, not because they lack strength, but because saying no feels wrong. They fear hurting others or being seen as selfish, so they tolerate behavior that slowly chips away at their peace. A manipulator quickly spots this and pushes those limits, knowing the empath will bend. And then there's the empath's emotional intuition. Empaths are gifted at sensing insecurity, sadness, or hidden pain beneath the narcissist's facade. The manipulator plays into this, often presenting themselves as misunderstood or victimized. The empath responds instantly, offering comfort and validation, and the cycle of giving and taking is set in motion. For the empath, the desire to heal becomes the invisible chain that keeps them hooked. Instead of focusing on the toxic behavior in front of them, they focus on potential. They tell themselves, if I just love harder, if I just hold on longer, this person will change. Because empaths absorb emotions so deeply, they often feel responsible for the manipulator's moods. When the narcissist gaslights or blames them, the empath doesn't walk away. Instead, they internalize the guilt and try to work even harder to repair the relationship. Their very identity becomes wrapped up in being the savior, the one who fixes what seems broken. This dynamic often turns into codependency. The narcissist relies on the empath for validation and self-esteem. The empath, in turn, feels validated by being needed, even as it drains their energy. Both feel locked into the connection, but only one truly benefits. The empath-narcissist bond often follows a predictable cycle. It begins with idealization, also called love bombing. The narcissist showers the empath with attention, affection, and charm. For the empath, it feels intoxicating, as though they finally found someone who truly sees and understands them. But the mask never stays on. Slowly, the phase shifts into devaluation. Criticism creeps in. Manipulation and blame take over. Gaslighting makes the empath question their own sanity and their self-worth. Instead of leaving, the empath digs deeper, trying to win back the warmth they felt in the beginning. And when they finally reach their breaking point and attempt to walk away, the narcissist flips the script. Suddenly, the cold and cruel manipulator becomes warm, apologetic, even romantic again. This is known as hoovering, sucking the empath back into the cycle with promises of change. It feels like relief in the moment, but it only resets the trap. But why would anyone stay in a relationship so clearly destructive? For empaths, part of the answer lies in their hopeful nature. They see the hurt child hidden under the narcissist's armor, and they can't help but believe their love might be the key to healing. There's also the fear of conflict. Saying no, setting boundaries, or walking away feels almost like betrayal. Empaths are well known for their loyalty to others, so they tolerate behaviors that erode their well-being. And for many, the dynamic feels familiar. If they grew up in chaotic or emotionally unstable homes, the ups and downs of a narcissistic relationship feel like déjà vu. Their nervous system registers it as normal, even when it's toxic. But the cost of staying in this cycle is devastating. Empaths describe losing their sense of identity, constantly feeling foggy, resentful, or emotionally numb. Their health suffers under the strain of stress, anxiety, and exhaustion. Worst of all, they begin to believe the narcissist lies. Maybe I am too sensitive. Maybe I do overreact. Maybe this really is my fault. What began as a gift, empathy, becomes the very trait used against them. Here's the truth. Empaths don't attract narcissists because they're weak. They attract them because their light is magnetic. Narcissists see that light and want to control it, to feed on it like a vampire. The shift happens when empaths stop mistaking absorption for love. Boundaries are not rejection, they are protection. When an empath learns to value their own needs, to separate their emotions from the emotions of others, the manipulator loses power. Narcissists cannot thrive without supply. You don't stop attracting narcissists by dimming your light. You stop by refusing to let anyone feed off it without giving back. So ask yourself, has your empathy ever made you a target for manipulation? If so, you are not alone. Many empaths have walked this same painful road. Share your story in the comments. Your voice might encourage someone else who feels trapped in the same cycle. And if this video gave you clarity, don't forget to subscribe for more weekly explainers on empaths, narcissists, and boundaries. Because empathy is your gift, and when you protect it with boundaries, it becomes your superpower, your greatest strength, not your greatest weakness.